Everybody, how are you? How are things in your world? We're continuing our series on baseball terms explained. This is a video explaining the word diamond. Now, of course, you've heard of baseball diamond and it has a diamond shape. Seems self-explanatory, but what's interesting is that the original baseball games in the 1850s to 1860s were played on a triangle. You never heard the word diamond. So they had home plate, they had first base, and then second base, which is essentially where third base is now. You just ran straight across. Okay? And the pitching mound wasn't a mound. It was just flat on the ground. So the pitcher would just stand to the side, right? But players then started stealing, and they would get hit by a pitch sometimes. Well, at first they would just run completely straight into the pitcher. They'd just body block him, knock him down, and there'd be injuries and medical procedures and time in the hospital. It was a problem. So at that point, then they moved the pitching mound or space, the rubber, behind that line running from first to what we now know as third, used to be second. But then guys were getting beamed with the ball. They'd take it running as hard as they could for second, and they'd take a pitch to the side of the head and again back to the hospital. Then they put the pitching mound in front of that line, closer to the batter. But then guys stealing from first to second, what we now know as third, they would goof on the pitcher. They'd say things like, "I saw your wife with another guy at the mall last night," real quick, under their breath, just so the pitcher could hear it, but nobody else, and try to get him to throw the ball, which often went into the dirt or into the stands where it could hit a soda vendor and knock them unconscious, and again, lawsuits and hospital bills. So the diamond was developed to route the traffic around the pitching mound. It was really a construction project more than a sport development idea. It was just an idea to reroute the traffic. In fact, for the first couple seasons, they put up those orange cones to make sure that the players knew that they had to go a certain route. And they had one year they had a couple guys standing out there. One had a sign that said slow or stop to try to get you to slow or stop in case there was traffic backed up. So the diamond was brilliant in that matter because it took off right away. It was an immediate hit, routing the traffic around the pitcher rather than over the mound or in front of or behind the pitcher, which created all kinds of problems. And it's been so popular over the years. It's been in like popular culture many times. Like Elton John has a song you're probably familiar with. Lucy Poppin' Flies in the Diamond. Okay, so she's talking about hitting infield flies, not necessarily always on purpose, but within the four corners of the diamond. Now that's why you see on a deck of cards the four of diamonds has those four diamonds, but they're in the shape of baseball bases, with the home plate in its shape, right? And that was an agreement in 1875 between the card manufacturers and the baseball owners to help promote the sport. Because at that time there was a lot of different sports. Boxing was big, tobogganing was big, rollerblading has always been popular. So baseball was trying to get things going. So they reached out to different parts of the culture and tried to get it implemented so that people were more aware of what baseball had to offer. So yeah, a lot going on, a lot of things you maybe didn't know about this discussion with the baseball diamond, and we're gonna have so much more in this series. So guys, come on back. We're having fun.